Hello, hello. Welcome back to B&J's Little Farm. I see Steve. Steve's in the house. Hello, Steve. How are you? Give it a couple of minutes, see if anybody else pops in. We are reading from Wings of a Dream, and we are on chapter 11. Says we got one in the chat, and we got 3 thumbs up. Are you in the chat?
I'm right here in front of you.
Well, I know that. Ooh, StreamYard says we got 3 in the chat. Alright, again, we're reading Wings of a Dream, and we are on chapter 11. If you haven't been following along, I do have the recordings of the other chapters. You can go back and listen to it if you would like.
Yeah.
Here we go. A screech jarred me awake. A thud followed. No morning dawn seeped through the window. I pressed my hand against my palpitating heart. Another screech, then sobs. I bounded from my bed. James met me just outside the children's bedroom door, rubbing sleep from watery eyes. I picked him up, pressed his head against my shoulder. Before peeking through the dark at the others, shadows stirred. Ollie even sat up and blinked. I shushed them and slid to the floor, cradling the 6-year-old like a baby. Another nightmare. His third since we buried Miss Ada. Of all the children, James seemed to be having the hardest time. But Miss Ada's passing or his own mother's death, I couldn't quite determine. Oh, he'd romped and played with his brothers and forgot. But then he'd remember, and his grief would come on so hard and fast that he couldn't hold it inside, like now. I'm here, James. Becca's here. Rocking back and forth, I imagined myself a child without a mother or a father to comfort and console. And it wasn't such a foreign feeling. With Mama so ill and Daddy far away, I stroked James' hair. I could manage for myself, but what could I do for this little one who dreamed of falling into a dark hole like Miss Ada? Hey, Wild, thank you. Mega shout out to Wild Edibles for sharing me out. Appreciate it. Rock of Ages, cleft for me. It started as a hum, the words finally coming clear in my mind, and whiling their way out of my mouth. Let me hide myself in thee. James' chin dropped towards my chest. I sensed he'd never been fully awake. His weight sank into me. I closed my eyes and rested my head against the wall, as if it were indeed the Rock of Ages holding me upright. Night air seeped through my flannel gown and prickled my flesh. Let's go, little man, I whispered. We both need some sleep. I made it to my feet and stumbled into the next room, where I laid my little boy bundle on the bed. Then I crawled in beside him, wrapping my arms around his small body, and prayed neither of us would dream of dark, muddy holes in the earth. A few hours later, I again scrubbed my hands over the wash basin in the kitchen. My skin burned, but even since I'd walked into the Crenshaw's house, the newspaper article assaulted my mind with searing clarity. Stay away from crowds. Stay away from those who have the disease. Cover your mouth. Wash your hands. I'd been careless to take us into town, but there'd be no more taking chances. I'd protect these children from the enemy, influenza, as surely as their father protected them from the evil Huns. I would care for them in this house and this farm in Aunt Annabelle's stead. Frank would come home, and I'd have the satisfaction of a duty done well when I headed off into my new life. We finished breakfast and chores. Then I sat down to think through our days. We needed a plan. Ollie and James gathered close around. Dan wandered to the corner to stack wood. While Janie sat at my feet, mesmerized by a rag doll, I drew a line down on an empty page, forming two columns, outside and inside. Let's see. There's old Bob, the cow, milk, morning and night. I wrote under outside, and the chickens. Feed hens and gather eggs. Hey, would you mind bringing my water back up?
That's not in the book.
I know. Would you bring me my water, please? Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I tapped my pencil against my lips. There's a slop barrel, but no pig. Pig's loose in the woods until butcherin' time, Ollie said. Daddy said she eats acorns out there. James put his elbows on the table next to my paper and rested his chin in his hands. How will we get him back? I asked. Two blank looks and raised shoulders answered me. I sighed and moved on. The horse and mules must be fed and their stalls mucked out, and the garden needs to be ready for winter. Sounds right. The look of concentration on Ollie's face reminded me of Mama. I shot up a prayer for her healing before returning to my list. Inside, we have laundry and housekeeping. The fire must be kept banked. Fill the lamps, trim the wicks, air and make the beds, and we must keep the linen around the evaporated cooler wet or our milk will get hot and spoil. And bring in wood and water, James added. That's my job. He pulled himself up straight. And me, Dan chimed in from his place on the floor. And take care of the baby and bake and cook dinner. And Ollie tilted her head in my direction. Becca, you ever done all this before? Of course I have. But never all at once without any help. And never with children underfoot either. Don't you worry. I know what to do. Miss Ada never had to make a list for herself like that. Ollie pointed to the dark words on my white paper. Mama either. I chewed the inside of my bottom lip. I needed Ollie's help. I needed her to believe in me, to be on my side. I forced aside my uncertainty. I made this list for y'all, I said. I wanted to make sure you knew what we needed to do every day. Ollie scrunched her nose at me as if she'd seen straight through my bluff. Hey, Firefly, good to see you. My gaze waved, wandering to the window, wishing for more confidence. Perhaps a large dose of fresh air would restore my confidence. If we're going to take care of this farm, I need to see something more than the barnyard. Who wants to show me? A chorus of shouts answered. I laughed, really laughed, for the first time since I had arrived, and it felt good, more like me. I picked up Janie and headed for the door, the children gamboling about my feet like lambs in springtime. We romped through the woods and along a slow-moving creek. Daddy lets me pick cotton sometimes, James puffed up his small chest. Me too, Dan added. James scolded in his direction, while Ollie sniffed like a disapproving old woman. I looked over bare fields and remembered the thick mud that had clung to our shoes during the last bout of rain. And although I recognized the empty cotton bowls and knew the crop had been harvested before I arrived, I had no idea what came next in the process. Does your daddy plant mostly cotton? Ollie answered this time. Of course, cotton's the cash crop. Over there, she pointed to a field more familiar to my eye. He grows some corn, but that's to feed us and the animals. Her voice dropped to a whisper. At least that's what Mama always said. I caught her small hand in mine and squeezed, hoping that one small act conveyed the words of sympathy. I couldn't trust myself to speak. My gaze rolled over the fields. I didn't know much about cotton farming. A few around Downington planted cotton, but my daddy and the others I knew grew mostly corn, rows upon green stalks producing fat yellow ears. Then it occurred to me to wonder how in the world Aunt Annabelle had gotten both the corn and cotton crops out of the fields into the mill and the gin on her own. 4 little ones in tow. Did she hire help? Did she take the fields herself? I quaked at the thought. Mama would have a fit if she thought she'd sent me to a place where a lady would stand in the blistering sun and pull cotton from the burr by hand. From our place in the far corner of the fallow field, I spied a small house in the distance. Smoke puffing through a pipe in the roof. Who lives there? I asked. That's the Lantham's house. Brother Lantham is the preacher. The hound dog looking man? At least we had neighbors. That gave some comfort until a familiar horse and buggy pulled into view and stopped at the small house. The scuffy-faced doctor almost ran inside. I turned away, fear and compassion wearing within me. Did they have the influenza there too? I shuddered. Let's get back to the house. I hurried the children in the direction we came from. They complied, their mouths rambling on and on as we walked. But I didn't hear the words. I kept looking over my shoulder and remembering that the Spanish flu hovered nearby. Hey, Darren, good to see you. Oh, no. How did he lose his channel? That's horrible. I was over there for quite a while and then I fell asleep. But his live was playing. Let's go to chapter 12. I dawdled over breakfast on Saturday morning, my nerves stretched as thin as cotton thread on a spinning wheel. I still had no word from Arthur. Was he ill? Listen, Becca. Dan's head jutted from his neck as he strained to hear a sound. I don't hear something. Someone's coming. James raced into the kitchen and out again. The rest of us stumbled after him like shipwrecked survivors catching sight of a passing ship. Sheriff Jeffries' Model T stopped close to the fence, its engine sputtering into quiet. The sheriff climbed out of his car, shook the dust off his coat. Thought you might like some help around here. Hey, Trust, dropping in to hit thumbs up. Busy again. We'll watch restream. Stay blessed, everyone. All right, Trust. The children raced down the porch steps. Sheriff Jeffries swung, Dan up in the air, but his eyes never left my face. I bit my lip and concentrated on Janie. As she painted the shoulder of my clean blouse with her half-gnawed tea cake, I sighed. Maybe I could make myself a bigger apron. Hey, Dr. Oddity, thank you for the hearts. I switched Janie from one hip to the other in spite of my worry over Arthur and Mama. The sight of the sheriff set me in a more playful mood. Do we need help? I hollered. Well, let me see. I don't know as we have any lawbreakers to be hauled off to jail. You boys seen any outlaws? Dan and James giggled, and the sheriff grinned as he swiped his hat from his head and twirled it around and around in his fingers. Figured you might like a break from farm chores. I don't imagine it's easy for a slip of a girl like you to take care of it all. I pulled my shoulders back and lifted my chin, my good humor retreating a bit. I do just fine, thank you. He held up his hands. I didn't mean to imply otherwise, just being neighborly. I studied his eager eyes, trying to decide if I should be offended or flattered. But unlike Mama, I never could stay offended long. I threw him a grin. You do the rest of my barn work, and I promise a filling dinner in return. My pleasure. He bowed at the waist and slipped his hat on his head. Now it was my turn to blush. Help sounded wonderful, as did company. But did I sense something more in his manner? I ought to turn the conversation to Arthur during dinner. That would make it clear that my future was spoken for. Janie screeched for my attention. I'll clean her up. Ollie took the baby while I brushed mush from my sleeve until my fingers froze in horror. What had I been thinking? I've invited a single man to dine with me without a chaperone, not just a conversation. But sharing a meal? Yes, the children would be with us, but if Arthur chanced to hear of it or Mama, my cheeks blazed now. I covered my heat with my hands. I couldn't rescind the invitation. My gaze roamed wildly over the barren yard. Then an idea surfaced. A picnic. I could spread a quilt here in the front yard, in full view of the road. Yes, that would be more proper, and quite an adventure. I'd never attempted a picnic in October. Ollie, she answered from the kitchen. I met her there, plunged my hand into wash water, and scrubbed them hard. Ollie, we're going to have a picnic for dinner under the big oak in the front yard. She wrinkled her nose. Picnics are for summertime out by the creek, but we're having an autumn picnic at home. I'll need your help. Ollie dried Janie's face with a dish towel, her muttered words indistinct. A storm gathered in my chest, readying to spew its fearful fury. What did you say? Nothing. Ollie cast a sullen glance in my direction, picked up her sister, and left the room. Suddenly, Hooverizing sacrifice was pork, so I couldn't cook up the bit of salt pork we had left. Yet, the thought of killing and plucking and cooking a chicken made me tired. On meatless days, Mama often baked vegetables into a pie, so I did the same, and with the last of the figs I found in the cellar, a pudding for dessert. By mid-afternoon, I sat back against the tree, my own plate empty, while the sheriff forked seconds, then thirds into his mouth. Although the vegetable pie wasn't typical picnic fare, he didn't seem to mind. The children chased each other in a game of tag, their laughter ringing in the air. Only Janie sat on the blanket with us, trying to crawl past my reach. So tell me, Sheriff, what does a lawman do with his time in a sleepy town like this? He wiped his mouth with his napkin and set aside his empty plate. Lots more than you think, Miss Hendricks. Please call me Rebecca, I smiled at him. Rebecca, he nodded and took a long drink of sweet tea. The young people around here have kept me busy of late. Young people? Those old enough to know better, but still young enough to act out anyway. Just mischief, mostly. I pulled Janie onto my lap, letting her clap my hands together. Like what? He chuckled. Janie copied. He laughed harder, shook his head, and he found his voice. Can't laugh about it with most, but they went on spree moving outhouses to barn roofs for one. My eyebrows shot up, and my mouth dropped open. Can that really be done? They found a way? I giggled as I pictured it. What else? He sobered a bit, painted Mr. Duggan's cow with black and white stripes. Sounds harmless, but the cow got real sick. The boys' parents made them work for the money to pay Doc Reisinger for the medicine to make her well again. Oh my, I never imagined. Silence fell between us, though the shrieks and laughter of the children echoed all around. So, do you plan to live out your days with a star on your chest, keeping Crater's Junction safe from vandals? He shifted around, rustling the dead leaves beneath our blanket. He didn't look at me. Instead, he stared off down the road that ran in front of the house. I guess. His shoulders rose and fell with his resigned sigh. Did the sheriff have dreams beyond this town? Would he and I have that in common? I cleared my throat as Janie leaned over my legs and pulled fistfuls of brown grass from the yard. What would you rather do? His eyes met mine for only a moment. Be a Texas Ranger. I sensed he'd never said that to anyone. Maybe he wished he hadn't said it to me. He turned his attention to my changes with a wistful smile. Clara loved watching them play like this. So did Annabelle. She and Clara were so different, but they both loved these kids. Now came my turn to squirm a bit. I'd said I'd care for them. But could I love them? Tell me, Sheriff, how far away is Dallas? His cheeks puffed out as he blew out a long breath. More than an hour by car, a bit less by train, even with all the stops. Why? You figuring on taking a trip? His eyes narrowed. James, Dan, and Ollie flopped breathlessly onto the blanket. James and Dan grabbed the last of the cornbread and shoved it into their mouths. I have a friend in Dallas, so I was just wondering is all. What friend, Becca? Cornbread spewed from James' mouth as he spoke. Hey, Celtic Grandma. Hello, Vermont. Thank you guys for coming in. Finish chewing before you talk, James. My lips pursed and I cringed. I sound like Mama. With an obvious swallow, James cleared his mouth. He wiped the crumbs from his lips with his sleeve. Do I know her? When I laughed, Dan nestled beside me. I tickled him, letting his crackle give me time to think. I studied the top of his head while I spoke. No, my friend's an aviator, or at least training to be one. From beneath my lowered lashes, I watched the sheriff's eyebrows shoot upward but quickly resume their normal place. Camp Dick, he asked. That's right. I looked him full in the face now. I'm expecting a letter any day. We're making plans. Hey, South Florida. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I see. He pushed to his feet, stretched his lanky legs, and sat his hat atop his head once again. Thank you for dinner. It was quite a treat. I nudged Dan aside, set Janie on the blanket, and stood brushing a stray leaf from my skirt. Thank you for all your help today, Sheriff. James jumped from the ground, his little legs churning toward the gate. Ollie and I shook our heads at each other. You never could tell what got into James' head. He raised himself on tippy toes, gazed over the lower fence, and bounced up and down. He's here! He's here! My heart lurched. Who's here? Could Arthur have found me? I picked up a startled, crying Janie and held her over my pounding heart, my mouth dry with anticipation. Who, James? Who's here? I reached the gate, out of breath. A strand of hair fell from its pinned place into my line of vision as I handed the baby to James and tamed the unruly curl. I didn't figure I needed to pinch any color into my cheeks. I felt sure they'd pinkened enough in my excitement. Covering my middle with my hands, I breathed deep, determined to be the ladylike young woman Arthur had fallen in love with. A cloud of dust moved away, accompanied by the dull thud of hooves against the hard earth before a horse pulled up in front of the gate. Howdy do, miss. A barrel-chested man peered down, nodding to each of us in turn. When his attention reached the sheriff, he belted out a roaring laugh that shook the bag slung across his shoulder. So that's why you didn't mind delivering the mail out this way all week. Sheriff Jeffries turned red as a ripe tomato. My eyebrows rose this time. The sheriff swooped his hat from his head and twirled it fast in his hands as he gulped air. I happened to be out this way earlier in the week checking on the Lathams. I knew I'd pass by here and save you some time. The big man shifted on his saddleless horse, unable to hide the mirth on his round, flushed face. Sam Culpepper, miss, brought your mail. He handed me a folded newspaper. I took it, my mind still trying to comprehend that though Arthur hadn't come to me, Sheriff Jeffries had, sometimes without my knowing it. Mr. Culpepper tipped his hat. Sure I'm glad for the sheriff's help this week. Doesn't do for the mail to get held up, but so many are sick of nursing the sick. I'm mighty late today. I do beg your pardon. I got home. I was out, got home tonight. He had two regulars on the panel. It was a nasty PV. Logman UK just uncovering the. Wow. Of course I stammered. I understand. The mail carrier tugged the leather straps attached to the bit in the horse's mouth. I contemplated the newspaper in my hand. My most consistent contact with the world outside this farm. Is it still bad in town? I gave the sheriff a sideway glance. He hadn't volunteered such information, but neither had I asked. It ain't good, that's for sure, as shootin'. Buried 3 more yesterday. He glanced at the children and lowered his voice. Took a boy and his father within hours of each other. I let out a deep breath and felt a sudden urge to wash my hands again. His large head shook. Some say it's the judgment of God. Some claim it's the Germans attempting to kill us all in our beds. Either way, not much to do but pray. I nodded, thinking of Mama and Mrs. Crenshaw. I need to get on now. Still more deliveries to make before dark. Suddenly, my eyes went wet, and my fingers itched to fling the newspaper, let the pages fly to every corner of the yard. I wanted this forge to end, wanted Mama to get well, and Arthur to send for me. I wanted Frank to come home to his children so I could get on with my life. Are you well, miss? I pulled my distracted thoughts back to the moment. Yes, I'm well, but I didn't believe my own words. Thank you, Mr. Culpepper. I stepped inside the fence. And thank you again, Sheriff, for your help. My pleasure. But the sheriff didn't sound as if he'd found any pleasure in the day after all. He waited until Mr. Culpepper's horse trotted away before cranking his car's engine to life. I hated hurting Sheriff Jeffrey's feelings, but I didn't want him to misunderstand. My destiny lay far beyond this or any other pokey town with Arthur. He eased his car into gear and sputtered her away. I turned back toward the house. Dan clutched my skirt, begging to be held. Janie laughed in James's arms as her sister played peekaboo, and my world brightened. I couldn't fall apart. I didn't have a choice. These children needed me. They had no one else. I unfolded the newspaper. An envelope tucked inside bore the familiar slant that quakened my heart. Arthur hadn't come in person, but he'd arrived all the same. All right, we read through chapter 11 and 12. Next Saturday, we will be on chapter 13. I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. We got 10 in the chat. Nice. Firefly said, I finally went out today. Now I'm freezing. Oh, thank you, Vermont. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I really enjoy this book. This is the second time I've read it now.
Well, when you do before you start them, do a recap on this one before that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought of that. Thank you, Dr. Oddity. He says, love your reading, Jess. Firefly said, I liked it. It was super cold here today as well. We had to go out. We had to go get propane before we ran out. We got hit with like 7 inches of snow last night. We got hammered. And
It's supposed to drop down to 16 tonight.
We didn't think that we were going to get hit that hard. Should have known better. So we put off getting propane. So we had to run to town today and get propane. And when I woke up this morning, it was 19 degrees. It's supposed to drop back down to 19 tonight as well. But with the wind blowing the way it is, it's brutal, man. It was freezing cold. I don't even know what the temperature. It was like 20 degrees while we were in town today, I think. And then with the wind blowing. Whew. Firefly said it stopped snowing. Yes, it's definitely a winter wonderland. And I have a picture. I took a picture of the garden for you all. I need to post it on my community tab. I took the picture this morning. So it's a pretty picture. Just tons of snow. So I'll be posting that here in a little bit. We got some too, and cold today. Brr. Hey, Marshmallow Man. Well, I read 2 chapters already. You missed story time. You'll have to go back and watch. It was funny, too. If you guys haven't checked out my short, I uploaded a short today as well. And I was, first thing in the morning, I always go out and bottle feed the calf and let them out of their stalls so they can run. And feed all the other animals. And I tried to let the cows out of their stalls, and they came to the barn door, and they were like, nope, and they turned around. But in that short, you can see that. It's only like 4 seconds long, but it was funny. I can't believe it. I got 1.2 thousand views on that short. Is that not insane? Crazy. I had a good gimme today. She liked the bell. I don't know if she likes it or not, Firefly, but it doesn't seem to bother her any. I like it though because a lot of times after I bottle feed her, she is not done bottle feeding when all the milk's done. So she likes to come up behind me and try to ram me to get more milk. And with that bell on, I can hear her coming, so that's kind of nice. And it's funny too because you can hear the difference if she's walking with the bell or if she's running with the bell. So that's a good thing too. Wild says that's good. Yeah. Barrett was in watering them today. He took a bucket of water out to water them, and she went in between his legs and tried to ram him, but he got her. He caught her in time. But she is getting weaned off. We are weaning her off the bottle. I'm still giving her some milk replacer, just not as much as I normally give her. I've cut it in half. So here in, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, she should be off the bottle completely. She loves everybody. She does love everybody. And she's doing really good. She's eating. The only reason I'm saying I'm going to wean her now is because she's eating tons of hay. She's doing really good. So I think she'll be fine off the bottle. Thank you, Wild. I have a little bit of sad news. I think that Midnight has some complications of smoke inhalation. I'm not sure, but the last couple of days she's had breathing issues. Like, I don't know. She is having a hard time breathing out her nose and everything, and I was calling around vets and everything. Well, she had went outside to potty, and that was last night, and she has...
The night before last.
It was the night before last? It was the night before last. She went out to go potty, and she hasn't came back, so... I've called and called for her. Barrett's looked for her. We can't find her. So, hopefully she's okay, but I'm really worried about her. Looks like your subs went up. Yeah, I think it said in the last 20 days I had 10 new subs. So yeah, that's cool. That's good news. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too, Wild. Hopefully she comes back after lots of fresh air. Midnight's been with us for a long time now. She's very close to me. I'm very close to her.
14 years.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long. No, because it hasn't been that long. We've been together 14 years.
Well, good 10 then.
Yeah, at least 10 years. Fluff is good. Fluff has been inside. She's actually up here running around causing havoc right now. But Midnight and me just have, I don't know, we just had a different connection. I don't have the same connection with the other cats.
Fit in your palm of your hand.
Yeah, she was itty bitty when she got thrown out here. She was so tiny. And she's always had a huge connection with me. Whenever she went into labor, delivered kittens or anything. And the whole time she was pregnant too. She always had to be on top of me. She's very needy. So, and she went through a lot with me too. Through my back surgeries and stuff like that. So, nerd cam on. I don't think Barrett wants the camera on.
Put it on you. I said put it on you.
Celtic Grandma said I had to step out for a little bit. I'm so thankful. I was talking to one of my friends on YouTube today. Well, not on YouTube, behind the scenes. And we were talking, she's south of me, so she got a bunch of snow too. Not quite as much as us, but she got a bunch of snow too. I was like, thank God I didn't plant those peas last week. Firefly said, hi, B is naked.
Yeah, I didn't put my gloves on.
Wild says, I love cats. The barn kitty has been coming in for a snack, then back to the barn. I'm not really a cat person. I mean, over the years, there's been a couple of cats that I've gotten really attached to. Numbnuts was one.
What was the one tomcat we had? He disappeared years ago. It was Mom's cat.
I don't know.
What was his name? Abe?
No, it wasn't Abe.
Sure?
Yeah.
Well, she's as old as she was as old as Abe Lincoln.
I think that was before my time, or maybe not. I don't know. But I know Numbnuts for sure and Midnight have been my ones that I've been connected to the most. But I prefer dogs and farm animals myself. I can't keep her inside here, but she's allowed to come in and out and go back outside. Well, and that's the thing with Midnight. She's been around here for so long, she trains all the other cats, which is awesome. Because Midnight, she'd stay inside at night, especially in the winter. Mostly in the winter. Sometimes she'd stay in the summertime, but not very often. But when she was in the house, she was housebroke. She went to the door to meow when she wanted out, or came to the door and meow to come back in. And she taught those behaviors to the other cats. So that's awesome. The bunnies are doing good. They're growing. Actually, Barrett and I put one of the females with the male. That was about 4 days ago. So tomorrow we'll probably pull her out. Hopefully she'll be pregnant, and we'll switch her out with another female. Get another female in there. So hopefully the rabbits will be having babies soon. The chickens have started laying. I think I told you guys that the other day. I got another chicken egg today, which I'm super happy about. I miss my buddy Shadow. He didn't come back last spring. He was in lots of garden videos. He was my garden protector and loved it outside more than inside. That's awesome. And that's the thing too, when we go to the garden, The cats are always right there. At midnight especially. She was always following me around, doing all my chores with me. And that was the same thing with Keela. I miss Keela so much. I was thinking about her a couple of nights ago and I'm going to start crying. She was like the best dog ever. I miss her going out and picking herbs with me.
Eating strawberries.
Eating strawberries with me and picking berries off the vine. And she did all that stuff with me. And she was so good. She never came into the garden, but she always laid at the edge of the garden until I was done. Murphy is on my pillow next to me. Murphy is diehard too. Murphy is always right next to Firefly. They live forever in our memories like shadow climbing up my leg. So sad. That's what I told Barrett when we lost Keela. We'll never find another dog like her again.
She knew which animals to protect and which one to keep away.
Yeah. She always got the ground moles. I always thought that was pretty amazing. She always took out the ground moles. Marshmallow Man says, dang, water froze solid on chickens. Oh no. That's what's been happening to us too. All the water's freezing around us. Thankfully, the spring never freezes, knock on wood. But once we water the animals and dump all those buckets, or I should say Barrett dumps all those buckets, the water freezes. Sucks. Marshmallow Man says, I'll never find another dog like my last dog. I would wear dresses, but I had to have tights on because he liked to climb my legs, even up my skirt, the little turn. Really, Firefly? I gave my new kitty to Finn's dad, was stressing Murphy out. Plus, they just lost a cat. Aww. The water thing for the chickens is taking a nice hot bath. So yeah, not much updates here. The snow was so thick and so high. My toes were numb all day from walking to the barns and to the animals and back and forth. I was over it today. He's living the high life there. Guess Murphy wasn't having it. Hey, Dragon, good to see you. He says hugs Jess and high five Barrett.
Hi, Dragon.
Barrett's busy playing his World of Tanks. Is that what you're playing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did miss Firefly last night. We kept saying your name, trying to get you to come in chat, but you never heard us. So today we basically just went to town. We did some laundry. We refilled the propane tank. Picked up a couple of groceries. And that was our day today. We didn't do much work at all, other than feeding and watering the animals. Firefly says, I've been out of it. The last round has really knocked me down. I'm so sorry to hear that. I wish he would hurry up and get better. It sucks. How are they taking it at work that you have it again? Well, I mean, they can't really do anything about it. Everybody at your work had it. And Dragon said, I even said Vicks 3 times in a row. He did too. Fluffbutt, your mama was asking about you. Come here. And Fluffbutt made an appearance last night too. Firefly, you missed her.
Can you reach that lid?
Oh, Lord. Say Fluffbutt, say hi. Barrett pulled up an article on Vicks. He was reading off all the things that Vicks cures. It was funny.
Did Dragon try his yet?
And Dragon, did you put your Vicks on your head yet?
We got Vicks, but it's smoke flavor.
Huh?
I said we got Vicks, but it's smoke flavor.
Yeah. Marshmallow Man, I threw snow out of my driveway and did some shoveling. That's some hard work. Aw, Fluffbutt cameo again.
Well, if anybody's got a snow blower, it's a good time to use it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's funny because I think it was like 2 weeks ago we had to go to Rural King and they had all the snow blowers out front for sale, and Barrett made a snarky comment. Why are they selling snow blowers in Ohio? We don't ever get snow anymore. And what happened? I shoveled yesterday and my nerves were bad last night. I fell asleep on you all. I wondered what happened to you, Wild. I figured you fell asleep. Or I was thinking either you passed out because you were so tired, or you passed out because you were doing your Wheaties. My legs were jumpy from my back. I needed heat in bed. Oh, I hate when that happens. Firefly says, B, tell us what Vicks does.
That's a lot of things.
What do you remember?
Oh, it's good for ears. Good for growing your hair back.
He said he was going to put it on his bald spot and that Dragon should put some on too and see who could grow hair back fastest.
Plus, if you got a wart, you can put some dab on it and put something over top of it so it'll soak in and get rid of warts. A lot of things. You're congested and everything, rub it on your chest. Who said that? Firefly?
Yeah.
She's the big queen. She should know.
I know, right? The Dragon says, nope, and I won't, because you can just borrow Jess's hair in a second. Celtic Grandma says, I'm watching 4-year-olds laugh out loud. Ooh. That'll keep you on your toes. I'm too old for all that. I can't be chasing little ones around. Well, we tried that 2 summers ago when I was babysitting that one baby. Oh my goodness. I wanted to pull my hair out. It wasn't him. He was a good baby and stuff. It's just, he was a baby, and it's been too long since I've had little ones running around and I had to chase them. Did you get bacon, onion, and flora growth pizza? Wheaties help to stop it all, I bet. Hey, Photos Against Anxiety. Hello and welcome. You guys, if you haven't checked out Photos Against Anxiety, go check out her YouTube channel. She posts quite a bit, like almost every single day. I've been really enjoying her posts. If you haven't checked her out, check her out. And Barrett thinks he should have gotten a 3-stage 15 horsepower snow thrower after all the snow you got.
We need a snowmobile too.
Yeah, right. What, to use once a year? That's why they make leashes now, Jess, so the little ones can't get too far away. Kidding, I would never use a leash on a kid.
I was trying to get Jess to hook up the cows today to the wagon. We couldn't go for a snow ride.
They're too little, they're babies.
I know.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was trying to get her to go sled riding, but man.
Yeah, he was trying to get me to go sled riding. I'm like, are you crazy? You're trying to hurt me.
We could have got the smallest hill.
Nah, I'm good.
Go an inch at a time.
Those days are over. Wild says, that's the thing, babies can run faster than us. They sure can. You should have seen me the other day. Freaking, I went outside to feed the animals. It was my evening chore, I think. Was it morning or evening? No, it was morning. It was morning chores. I went to feed the animals, and I walked out the front door, and Rebel was standing right there on the front porch. I'm like, girl, what are you doing out of your pen? What the heck? So I wrestled her, got her back in her pen in the fenced-in area, shut the gate, went on to feed the bottle calf, and then as soon as I was done feeding the bottle calf, I went to look for Rebel. She was gone. She was nowhere to be found. I'm like, where the heck did she go? Oh, she got out again. And I was like, all right, forget this. I ain't chasing her again. So I hollered for Barrett, woke him up. Then it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and y'all know he doesn't wake up that early. Got him outside and dressed, and by the time he got downstairs, I'd caught her again. And then I took her into the second portion of, I took her into the chicken pen, locked her into the chicken pen, because somewhere I thought she got out of the main area where the cows were. Well, then I turned to talk to Barrett, and she was gone again. She was running clear to the creek. I'm like, what the heck? And I walked the fence twice looking to see if there was any holes that she dug out or any place she could escape. And I was telling Barrett, I was like, there's no holes. I can't find out where she's getting out. And then I had walked through the chicken lot, and there was a piece of the fence at the bottom that came loose. And she had been pushing her way out through there. So I found the hole and had to run and chase her down to the creek. Thankfully, there was no snow yet. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. Bring her back up to the house. Oh my goodness, I was so upset. Thank you, Wild, for linking her channel. Yeah, I still have the 4-wheeler Firefly, but it's out of commission. I don't know what's wrong with it. It won't shift. And me and Barrett have torn it apart trying to find the transmission fluid and all that stuff. We can't find anything on it. So, I don't know. Eventually, I'll have to go into the shop or something. But when it's shifting really, really hard or not shifting at all. I wish I had that 4-wheeler running, because I sure as heck wouldn't be chasing these animals on foot around the field. Dragon says, Jess, they're Dexters. They'll always be babies compared to full-size cows. You are right. Dragon says, sounds like a crankshift issue.
He's back to go in the shop.
Thank you, Firefly. I seen you share it out my live. I was so hopeful that we would stay with warm weather. And there would be no snow this year.
Tuesday.
I know, but I kept telling everybody else, I feel the spring. The spring's coming. And then,
You know we got to get one last cold spell.
I know, but I was being hopeful. What's a crankshift issue anyway? Dragon, what's a crankshift issue? Either that or the bearings and the gearbox are so worn down they are no longer functional. Well, that doesn't sound good. That sounds expensive.
Yep. We'll just ship to Dragon's house. He can fix it.
That'd be an arm and a leg. If I had a horse, you know, then I wouldn't have to worry about mechanical issues.
What are you going to do with a horse?
Ride it?
Yeah, you can't go sled riding. You're going to ride a horse,
Yeah.
which is going to bounce you up and down, which is going to squish your spine together. Yeah, you can't
I'll
ride
get
a
an
horse.
Amish buggy then, with suspension.
No. The way these crazy people drive around here,
No, just for around the yard.
it's not big enough. No, you're not getting no horse. Get a donkey.
I'm not getting a donkey.
Well, they'll protect the animals.
I don't want a damn donkey.
They'll
I want a
choke your
horse.
dogs. I showed you this video.
I know, donkeys are mean as heck. Firefly says frog juice, question mark? Yeah, we've been getting our frog juice in. Woohoo!
Oh, we had broccoli today.
Yeah, we had broccoli tonight, so we didn't do the frog juice. We don't want too much gas going on in the house. Ooh, I love those ones. The farmer is talking about the mini cows that look like panda bears. They've got Dexters that look like that too, but they're not fuzzy. Well, I guess they are in the winter, but
You get the fuzzy top.
yeah. Red and white. The Mennonite drive their horse and carriage to get groceries. Yep. Dragon says, panda cattle? Does what make you poop, Firefly? The frog juice or the broccoli? Hey, Twin Brooks, good to see you. It's been a while. I hope all is well. Belted Galloway, that's the name. Nice. Frog juice? No. It doesn't. It doesn't me anyway, but I got a lot of intestinal issues. Does the frog juice make you poop? The only vegetables that really do that to me are like cabbage and Brussels sprouts and sauerkraut, which basically rotted cabbage. What are we doing tomorrow? What's the plan?
Keep them warm.
It's supposed to drop down to 19 tonight. It's already at 20 degrees right now. And then, I don't know what the temperature is supposed to be tomorrow.
House cleaning.
House cleaning. Ugh.
Putting away clothes.
Ugh.
Throwing away clothes that don't fit.
No, you're not throwing them away. You're donating them.
I'll donate them.
That's alright. I understand, Twin Brooks. No. Oh, yeah, the toilet is working again. Woohoo. Or at least it was.
It's working.
Yeah. Swinbrook says I haven't had much time for good old YouTube lately. Dragon says that wild. Woo, because if they were panda cattle, all that work Barrett has been doing to clear the bamboo from the yard would be for nothing if Jess got some of those.
Hey, where's that sickle?
Beans and coffee make me go poo. Huh?
Where'd you put that sickle at?
You left it in the barn.
It's in the barn?
Yes.
Okay. As long as it's in the barn.
You. This is what we were talking about. We're going to get Barrett a tool belt.
Here we
And
go.
he is going to put all his tools that he needs in this tool belt so he does not lose them. I had to go to Goodwill today and get him a dang measuring tape because he's either lost them all or the ones that he can find are broke.
I don't know how that one got broke. That was a good one.
Firefly says beets make me. The only thing that makes me go is either cabbage or sauerkraut or
You planting beets this year?
nuts. Almonds. Pecans.
What, gives you gas?
No, it makes me poo.
Wow.
I know. Most people, if they eat too many nuts, it makes them constipated, which I don't understand. Not me. I'm backwards, I guess. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that beets make them go.
No, I just wonder who's going to plant beets.
Yeah, we're definitely planting beets.
Make some pickled beets.
Yep.
Eggs.
Ugh, I don't know about that. You can have some pickled beets with eggs, but hopefully I planted cranberry plants this year. Cranberry seeds. Cross my fingers. The cranberries come up. I'm so jealous. Wild has cranberries growing around her so she can just forage for them. I've been trying for years to get cranberries to germinate.
That cherry bush better do something this year.
I think you need another cherry bush to get it to germinate. How did the birds get on the lampshade, Barrett?
I don't know. What's Fuzzy Butt doing?
So, let's see. This year, I have these all in order. I got my little container. I got this container at the Dollar Tree. So I can stay a bit organized. So we've got green arrow peas. That's what we're going to grow this year. Hopefully. I thought I had these in order. I guess I don't. Yeah, whatever. Kinda. We've got... Do you remember the Amish paste, you guys, that I grew last year? Those huge Amish paste tomatoes? That's going to be my main tomato this year. I'm sticking with that. Now for Barrett's, like, per se, beef steaks, tomato, sandwich tomato, he's going with the carbon. He really, really liked the carbon. These are all seeds that, the ones I'm showing you right now, these are the seeds that I harvested from them last year. So hopefully they'll do even better this year. This one is a new one to me. I'm going to try, it's called White Wonder Tomato. It's a white tomato and it's supposed to be a low acid. So for people that have a really hard time eating tomatoes, this is a good one for them. I have a neighbor that has a really hard time eating red tomatoes, so he requested if I could find these, if I could grow them, and he would buy some off of me. So we've got your tomatillos, the green tomatillos, and of course my currant tomatoes. I will never not grow these. I love my currant tomatoes. And then I have a purple tomatillo. We've got an old strain. It's a 70-year-old heirloom okra. This was a really good strain that I grew. It was a couple years back that I grew. And I can't remember. I got this off of Arkansas somebody. Arkansas something. I can't remember his name now. Anyways, I got Barrett some Spanish peanuts. He loves Spanish peanuts, and every time we go to the store during Christmas time, that's usually when they sell them. They haven't had them the last few years, so we're going to try that for the first time. The greenhouse is warm, Firefly. We've got some Go Big okra. I'm going to do this just because this is an older pack and I need to get rid of it. We've got all the, Jen had told you guys in one of the lives that we got tobacco seeds. She purchased these for me. She got some and then she got me some too. And so we got 3 different strains of tobacco. We're going to try that this year. Of course, my cherry giant radishes. I got like 4 packets of those because I stagger plant these. Or whatever you want to call it. What do you call it? I plant them in sessions. Something. And then I've got, here's the beets. Detroit Red. Firefly, there's your beets. Of course, my purple top turnips. Love turnips. Wild says there's lots of cranberries here, but a 3-hour walk away, Romeo can help me with that. I know. I'm so jealous that you have cranberries growing around you. We've got some local, this was from our library. If you guys don't know, most libraries, your local libraries, have a seed bank, and you can go in there and get seeds for free. So this is an Imperial carrot from them. I've got a Tender Sweet and Scarlet carrots, and those will be planted throughout the season too. That's why there's so many packages. There's some cranberry plants at the farm, but they don't get fruit. There's no light where they are growing, but I probably can move some plants, see if they get fruit. Would be great. Yeah, you should try. Brussels sprouts. Pak choy. My favorite, kale. This is the blue dwarf kale. This is my favorite. Swiss chard. If you guys like creamed spinach, try some cream Swiss chard. It's really good. We've got some Arcadia spinach. I'm growing this for the first time too this year. It's already sprouted. It's coming up good. How do I pronounce this? I can't remember. Starts with a Q, and it don't sound like a Q though. You can. I just said it today in Aldi's.
I don't know.
Nope. Anyway, I can't remember how to pronounce it. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. I just said it in the store today. Whatever. We've got some of that.
Now, how somebody, you showed those seeds to them, the word.
Uh-huh.
How are they going to say?
They're not. But anyways, I'm going to try those for the first time this year.
You got to bring somebody live up.
And I'm planting this for the chickens so that they can have some of that. Quinoa. Thank you. Dragon said it. He spelled it K-E-Y-N. Quinoa. We got some green globe artichokes, which is in the greenhouse. I always grow artichokes. Last year's artichokes, they grew really well, but they never formed any fruit. But they were pretty tall. I don't know if you guys remember seeing them in the garden last year. Let's see, what do we got? Got all kinds. Okay. We've got salad bowl mix. Salad bowl mix is one I grow all the time, and it is in that planter under, it's in the greenhouse, but it's under the shelf, and it's doing really good. It's already popped up. It's growing. We got like 7 different lettuces. You guys, I love lettuce. Merlot lettuce. We've got green ice lettuce. This is another local one from the library bank. Romaine lettuce. And this is my favorite. I grew this last year for the very first time, and this has become my all-time top favorite lettuce of all time. It's winter density. It's a romaine lettuce, but it's very hardy. The leaves are very dense and thick, and they're just so good. I made tons of wilted lettuce salads for me and Barrett last year with this, and it came from Johnny's. It was such a good lettuce. So this is one I'll grow forever. We've got red iceberg lettuce. And I'm not going to try to pronounce this, but this is the green, like, really fluffy, frilly lettuce. And then we got a red romaine. We've got some sugar and snap peas. These will be like, these are like, only take 54 days. And they're like the first ones that you plant out. The other peas, the green arrow, these are shelling peas. The snap peas are fresh eating peas. So we like to do the snap peas and like stir fries and stuff. However, I'm not very good at growing peas. And it's like a hit and miss with me.
The deers ate it last year.
Yeah, the deers ate most of them last year. And I just have a hard time. Yeah. Wild says you need to plant them early, the artichokes, to get the flower buds. I planted them pretty early last year. I started them in the greenhouse as well last year. But this year, I started them February 15th, I think. Or no, February 4th I started the artichokes. So we'll see what happens. Do you guys remember seeing on one of the lives, me and Barrett got the sugar cube cantaloupes? They were like tiny little sugar cubes from the Amish. I don't know if you remember that. I saved those seeds. So we're going to try those this year. Hopefully they germinate because they were super good. They were delicious. We got another pack of quinoa. We've got, this was a gift from Jen as well. We had a conversation and her mom was stuck on this one garden bean, green bean, that she will not grow anything else. So I said, let me get some of them beans then. And she swears by these beans. They are a bush bean, and they're called Strike, and they are from Pine Tree. So she sent me a couple packs of the bush bean Strike. So we're going to try these this year. They are stringless, so they should be good. She sent me so many seeds. She also sent me melon Nordic crems. I don't know how to pronounce that. The best I could do. She said it was an interesting looking, I need to look it up again, but she said it was an interesting looking melon, so that's why she sent that. She sent some small sugar pumpkin seeds. We're going to plant some mammoth sunflowers. That's a staple. We always grow that. We'll do some Bilicious sweet corn. We're going to do the Gerardelle pumpkin again. That was so prolific last year. It did so well. And then, of course, you know, summer squash or zucchini. And our infamous spaghetti squash. Not have a garden without our spaghetti squash. And then our summer squash, our yellow squash. What is this? I don't even know. Oh, this is a pickling cucumber from Gurney's. I haven't tried it before. We're going to try it. Cucamelon. I've only got, I think, 4 seeds left of the cucamelon. I really need to save seeds for cucamelon this year. So wish me luck that these germinate and grow. I did, but for some reason they died out. They didn't do good in the garden last year at all. We're going to do a burpless cucumber. I love cucumbers, but I can't stand that they make me burp. We are going to do, of course, Barrett's favorite muskmelon, or as most people know, cantaloupe. Honeydew melon. And this is the one that I bought for myself this year. And I've been waiting forever, and I just had to do it. My kajari! It better produce this year. I've tried to grow for 3 years, and they've never turned out to be kajaris. And we've got some crimson sweet watermelon. And the last thing is the glass gem popcorn. We grow this usually every other year. We didn't grow any last year, so we'll be growing that this year. But I have these all in order as I need to plant them. So it makes it so much simpler. When I go to grab seeds to go to the greenhouse, I just have to pull the ones from the front and then head out to the greenhouse. So those are the seeds. Those are the seeds that I have left to plant for the year. I already planted my peppers, my artichokes, my cranberries, my kiwis, all my lettuces, my kale, my spinach. I don't know what else. I planted a lot already. All the flowers. We did all the flowers one day. Oh, and all my onions. All the onions, the leeks, and I think that's it. That's what we got in the greenhouse. Yeah, I need to go through my seeds. They are not organized at all. Most of my seeds aren't organized either, Wild, especially right now. I'm still shifting through stuff in the house and trying to find my gardening stuff and seeds and all kinds of stuff. Dragon says, hey Jess, maybe if you beg Barrett really, really well, he'll make you some sugar cube melon ice cream. Barrett's going to want to strangle me. That sounds good. What do you think?
I don't know.
I bet it would be good. Y'all, I've been, scrolling through Facebook and stuff like that, and all these recipes keep coming up. I'm like, oh, I want to bake. I want to bake this stuff, and I can't bake it because I have no oven. It's driving me nuts. We went to Aldi's today to pick up a few groceries, and they had, they were called keto clusters. Oh, we never did get the pumpkin seeds. But they're keto clusters, but they didn't have all. They said they were keto. They always do this. I get excited because a new product comes out and then it's not keto. They have ingredients in there that are definitely not keto ingredients, but they're like chocolate clusters. And I was thinking it would be like a no bake cluster or whatever. And instead of using all the ingredients that weren't keto that they use, I could do like the almonds, the coconut, pumpkin seed, chia seed, and I'd have to do like an almond butter or something for it to stick together. I would have to come up with it. Anyways, mix all those ingredients together and then scoop them up with a spoon or whatever and dip them in chocolate. Would that not be so good? And then, of course, I can't do my granola right now because I don't have an oven. So I'm just like, all these recipes are going through my head, and I'm like, I need to be creative and bake. I tried to take a grate from one of the grills outside and put it inside of the wood burner stove, the furnace. It didn't work. Are you laughing at me? I don't tell Barrett all the things I do.
Does it work if I toast that?
No. I can't tell you all my failures. All right, Twin Brooks, have a good one. Hope you take care. Wild says, I have 2 big bagfuls, but some seeds are in paper bags, so I don't have that many, but I think I have what I need. And that's the thing, like, I lost a lot of seeds in the fire this year, but most of the seeds that I lost were all the seeds that I collected myself and harvested. So, I mean, it's sad and it sucks because those seeds would have been really good for our soil since we had already grown those seeds. But at least I know most of those seeds I still have in packs. I just don't have a bunch of them. So I can grow them and get more seeds from them. So that's the plus side of it. I have a rooster now for the farm because there's no oven here. It works just like an oven. A roaster. I read that so wrong. I have a roaster now for the farm because there is no oven. Okay. Sorry. That's farm
Where's
right.
your roaster at?
I don't know. I have a roaster somewhere. Or did I get rid of it?
Mm-hmm. We want to drain more power though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Whatever we run, we gotta be careful because it'll start flickering and shorten out our power. The 2 skillet, the electric hot plate, I can only run 1 burner at a time. If I put both of them on, say I want to make a meat and a vegetable, and I try to turn both of them on, it'll freaking pop the breaker. Isn't that crazy? Wild says it works great, so does the rooster. Tell me you live on a farm without telling me you live on a farm. It's got farm animals on the brain.
We need to get a hold of Brian, he can teach us how to do that grill stuff he does all the time. Old man.
Yeah, old man. Why, you gonna be the grill master?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I won't have to cook anymore. I think that's a good deal. I think you should cook all the time and I should bake. Sound like a deal?
No.
Why?
You don't bake that much, that often.
But I could.
No. I get the short end of the stick again.
Whatever. See if you can dig it out. I think it's like a hot plate. Yeah, same here. If you run the roaster by itself, it's okay. Okay. I'll have to see if I can find it. I think it might be in the red shed, but I'm not sure. She said just not the roaster and coffee pot. Could you find a toaster oven? Do you think that might work for small batches?
You threw the toaster oven away. You didn't like it.
Don't tell on me.
Just like the microwave.
Well,
You threw the microwave away.
the microwave will stay gone forever. You will never have another microwave ever in your life.
Yeah, but I like my microwave popcorn.
Tough. Sorry. But, please, anybody on the live stream that's listening, don't get me a toaster or a roaster or anything like that. Please don't get me that, because I have a surprise coming. Hopefully in a week. And I've been keeping it a secret for, what, 3 weeks now? And it's killing me. It's itching me.
What is it?
You know what it is.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it is. So please don't get me anything like that. And I can't wait to share the surprise with you.
What is it?
You know what it is.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
You never tell me nothing.
You're the one that went and did it.
What did I do?
Anyways. Yes.
Tell me, I'll keep a secret.
You're the worst person at keeping secrets. Lyle says get a pot for popcorn. That's how he makes his popcorn. Because I refuse to have a microwave. Caveman is laughing too, Barrett. I think Dragon will be like super excited and happy to see this surprise too. I think you all will be, but Dragon for sure. What do you think? Do you know what the surprise is, Barrett?
Mm-mm.
Yes, you do. Oh my goodness. When we get off this live and I tell him, he's going to be like, oh yeah, duh. Do not blurt this out. You hear me?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
That thing.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, it's kind of hard to forget.
I did.
Come on, Barrett. You know that thing you did
You guys
that
want a
one
hint?
time.
You want a hint?
Do you? What? Now you made me misread. Come on, Barrett. You know that thing you did that one time to do. You know what?
No. What was I supposed to do? You know what?
I have a new hot plate here, but it is like a microwave, but it's open. I don't think so if I won't use them. You know what I just thought of? Mm-hmm.
What? Yes, isn't it?
Yep. And Wild's laughing. It was supposed to be here last week, but somebody's a procrastinator. So, I don't know when we're going to get this thing.
Go get it tomorrow.
Great. How?
Throw it on your back.
But I will definitely do a video of it coming home. I might even go live.
Alright.
Uh-uh.
I'll tell you.
Stop it.
It's a emu.
It's not an emu. You be quiet. You play your war game and play with old man.
He's not on.
Play with
Bonzo?
Bonzo then.
He's not on.
No, play with somebody. Not me.
I don't know these other guys. Need
If I put
20,000 more points.
microwave on my side of the road to go in the garage, I always get someone giving me a new one. Well, I don't know if you guys remember, but that bout Barrett had with his kidney cancer a few years ago, that was my determining factor on microwave.
Radiation.
The radiation from the microwave, but you have to realize too, the microwave that we had was like
80 years old.
80 years old.
You're supposed to get rid of them after so many period of time.
They say you're supposed to get rid of a microwave every 2 years. Who can afford that?
Just like these computers, you got to get rid of them after 10 years.
Yeah. But 2 years,
You
every
can't
2
update
years.
any more of it.
Yeah, I was trying to watch Tubi and Netflix or something on this computer here, the Apple one, and
It's outdated.
it keeps saying, outdated. Outdated. You can't do
You
anything.
gotta upgrade to a better system.
Like everything I tried to do that day, I was so mad at this computer.
So we're watching Netflix on, guess who?
Don't say it. She'll start talking to you.
Smoke. Alexa. I think she's got smoke damage.
She does. She's retarded. She's more retarded now.
That's what I was going to ask you the other day. Remember, I asked you if they make a PC with that Alexa's on, or
Well, I'm sure they would. They have Siri that you can talk to on PC.
well, you imagine having Alexa on there.
No, but I can't stand Alexa.
I know she don't like you, don't talk to you.
Why? Because she's retarded?
You don't like her.
I don't like her.
Alexa, Jess does not like you. See? Now she's mad at me.
Oh, well. Dragon says that's okay because Barrett has something coming for him on Monday and he has no clue what it is.
What?
Is it the undies? Did you send him undies, Dragon? Ooh, Wild says, yeah, wow, I can see it. My aunt uses hers with a hole in the door. Not good. Ask Alexa if she's retarded. Alexa, are you retarded?
I'm happy to hear how I can improve. You can always say, I have feedback.
Now she made me feel bad. What the heck? That wasn't nice, Marshmallow Man. You made me feel bad for being mean to Alexa. Hey, Roman Prepper, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. We're just being silly tonight. Wild says silent treatment. And Wild says granny panties. No, a while back, I think you were there, Wild, when they were all teasing Barrett about those underwear, the boxer briefs with, like, I don't even remember who started that now, but one of them had the wolf on it. One of it had an eagle. Wasn't there a hot dog on one of them?
I don't know.
Dragon says no. Or he says, nope, not panties. Panties cover things up. The assless chaps let everything hang out. Oh, crap. You made me spill the beans, Jess. Yeah, there was an elephant, too. Well, I guess if he sends those, you're going to have to do a runaway show, babe. Did you just shake your head, yeah?
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You guys, he can't play his game and talk at the same time. He's never been able to. Why'd you shake your head? You were going to give us a runway show.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Don't lie.
Ooh, I just got 2 shots.
They can see you, you know.
I just got 2 kills.
Uh-huh. Change the subject. I know your antics.
Ooh, I'm the last person alive. Oh, against 2. Where's the other guy at? There he is. Missed him.
You ran over a telephone pole.
Oh, of course, I'm a tank. I'm going to hit the back of a house. Yep, they killed me. Now, what's you saying?
Dragon's getting you. Chaps. Assless
Chap.
chaps. Ass chaps.
Oh, good. Where am I going to get my tractor running?
And you're going to walk and do a runway show to show him his gift. Yeah. Yeah, you have to do a mail call. And you have to put the product in use. And you shook your head yes.
No, I didn't. I was shaking my head at the game.
I have 6 witnesses.
I was shaking my head at the game.
No. Caveman misses his phone. He can't play the war game. Is that worm game or war game? What's a worm game? Dragon. He says that is one live I will be missing. Well, then I want to announce which one it is, Dragon. I'll trick you. We'll do it on a Monday night or a Friday night.
Right.
He wants to know what Barrett is playing. What are you playing?
World Tank Blitz.
World of Tank Blitz. He was playing this. He plays this game all the time. He likes it, Caveman, because he can talk to all of his friends. He's got friends in Canada and Jamaica and all kinds of places. So it's like his YouTube. That's his thing. And so every once in a while when he's playing, he has to use all these keys on the keyboard to move the tank and shoot the tank and stuff. And his finger will cramp up. And it will do like this funky, like twisted thing. Like his finger, I don't even know how to explain it. It goes in a certain way that it's not supposed to go. And it kept doing it the other night. And
3 times.
Yeah, it was like 3 times he was screaming. He's like, ah, my finger, my
I'm
thumb.
in a battle.
It is all cramped up. And I have to like massage it. It's hilarious. I've never seen anybody's fingers cramp up like
2
that.
2 minutes later, you had to do the same thing.
They're like, they go sideways or something. It's weird.
That's my move finger.
Your what?
My move finger. To move the tank. When it cranks, what do you want to say it? Cranks up, or kinks up.
Kinks up.
I can't move my tank. And I get killed.
Worm game on Facebook. I've never heard of it. I'm not a gamer though. I'm not into games. I tried to get into the what was it, Farmville on Facebook years ago.
I got banned from
Not
Farmville.
my thing. Barrett had a whole freaking village built.
All kinds of stuff, and they banned me from it.
Yeah. Barrett was having an attitude with people. So he got banned. Worm Zone.
I don't even know if I still got that. I remember that password from MySpace.
The only like games that I can actually play that will keep my attention are like Candy Crush or what's that Pop It game? It has all the balls at the top and you aim to get the colors. I can't think of what it's called.
Pop It.
Is it Pop It?
I don't know.
Something like that. games like that, quick and easy, and
You do the word games.
yeah, I do word games too. Like,
What's that one with the Chinese blocks?
yeah, I do those too.
Jamaica or something? Jumanjo or
Something like that. I can't think of the name of it. But I can't. I don't know. I like doing fast games. I don't like having to sit there for hours and days and months.
I don't sit here for the hours, days, and months. I'll be off here by 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch the final part of my show that you don't want to watch.
What's that?
This Is Us.
Oh, we gotta finish that. I don't want to watch it. She dies. I know she dies.
Well, we know she dies, but
Why I gotta watch it?
I want to see how Randall and the rest of them takes it.
It gives me anxiety.
Kevin might punch Randall in the face.
Wild says, I played the farm game until I realized it was spring and time to play outside. Then I stopped. I get addicted to games. Dragon says, of course Barrett got banned. He kept trying to crossbreed the chickens and the rabbits to make jackalopes. Me too, Wild. That's why I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I would much rather be on YouTube and hang out with you guys. And Wild says I should put the rabbit and the cat together. I gotta figure out what this warm zone is. Let's see. Warm zone game. Oh, it's kind of like that one you used to play, like, you know, the jets that you would have to shoot stuff? It's kind of like that. But it's a worm eating stuff. I think it's eating stuff.
Is that like back in the 70s? Oh, yeah.
Was it back in the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, Wild says the worm goes around eating stuff. We have, at the laundromat that we go to, well, one of the laundromats we go to when it's not full, it has like the old school Pac-Man game and all that.
Galaxy or something.
Yeah. I don't play them, but Barrett does.
No, since the price went up on them.
Yeah. What was the price the last time?
$1.50 or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the crane game went up too.
Yeah.
It used to be 25 cents, and then it went up to 50 cents, and now it's $1.25. And I've been getting like comments from a month ago. So if y'all gave me a comment recently and I haven't responded, that's why YouTube's holding my comments again. I found a comment today. It literally was from a month ago. I'm like, what the heck? But it's going to be kind of boring for the next month or so because it's cold. We can't do nothing outside. And I can't plant anything else until at least the middle of March.
I gotta make you more shelves too.
Barrett's got to work on the greenhouse. It's leaking. The roof is leaking. So we got to figure out something, a different design.
Well, I stuck 2 buckets in there to catch that rainwater for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. It's only the roof. The roof is the issue.
You get plugins out there.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get electric out there to the main pool. We need a friend that's an electrician. I tried making games, I tried making games, man, it's not easy. It was fun. I tried it when my boys were younger. They thought my game sucked. It did, but it was really good. Laugh out loud. Beyond was the platform. Tar paper on the roof. Well, that's a thing, Dragon, because it's a
Glass house.
it's a greenhouse, a glass house. I need that sunlight to come through the top. So I can't put tar paper up there. Right now we've got the what was that stuff
It's
called?
clear plastic.
Yeah, it's plastic. But
Thick plastic.
he just laid it on top of like 2x4s or something. Some type of boards. But he didn't seal it because we didn't have any ceiling stuff.
Plus, you wouldn't get up there and sell it for me.
Yeah, and I won't get on the roof. I ain't doing it. I don't do heights. Not after my brother hung me off a barn.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little gap like that in it. Put a gutter system through there. It'll catch your rain, drain into your barrel. Where it's leaking at, just put a gutter system through there. And put a barrel down at the end. That way you have water.
Okay. Okay.
That'll work.
All right. Is that okay?
I like the way you say it. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Lyle says, I still don't know if I can fix my roof. Man, there's so much work involved taking the porch off with it. Probably have to cut the roof off. The other roof. I get it, Wild. Ugh. Wild says, I can't get on roofs either, man. The pitch throws me off balance. I don't have a problem climbing up. It's the problem climbing down. And like once I get halfway up the ladder and I look down, I'm like, nope, I can't
look
do
down.
it. I have to look down when I go down.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I have to watch my steps so I don't fall.
But you're not looking at the steps. You're looking at the ground. Look at your steps instead of the ground.
I'm good.
You have to get up there and paint the
I
stuff
am
in
not
the
getting
house.
on top of this 2-story house.
Yeah.
No,
I'll hold the ladder for you.
No, I'll hang out the side of the window to paint, but I ain't
Oh, you
getting
hang outside the window, but you won't go up the ladder.
Mm-mm.
It's more dangerous hanging out the window.
I'll hang out the window. I'll sit my butt on the windowsill and I'll paint. I'm not going up the ladder.
Then you gotta get out there and fix the barn roof.
Nope. You already said you were doing
I'm
it.
gonna put 2 ladders like this and then tie them together at the ends and throw them over each side. Then you crawl up there and stay on the ladder.
You're off your rocker. Dragon says, wait, why didn't Barrett silicone the plastic down? Because you, Jess, you're scared. What were you going to say?
For a person that went skydiving there and you can't climb up a ladder.
Do you know what happened to me when I went skydiving?
Yeah, you got sick.
I threw up and I peed on myself. So, that don't count.
Yeah, it does.
And not only that, I didn't have a choice. I was attached to somebody else's body that jumped from the plane. If it was me by myself, I would have never jumped from the plane.
Yeah, you would have.
I was forced. That was a bad idea. Yeah, it was. I was not drunk enough for that.
No wonder you peed yourself. You was drunk.
I wasn't even freaking drinking until after I hit the floor. If I was to be offered to go skydiving again, ain't no way. And you have any room to talk about being scared of heights?
What?
What do you mean, what?
What?
You know what? You can't even get in a hot air balloon.
Yeah, I can.
That's why your knees were shaking. You tried to sit down. And you were tied to the ground. The hot air balloon didn't even go nowhere.
We were so high up in the air.
No, you wasn't. You were maybe 10 feet in the air.
I was like 100 feet.
No, wasn't.
Yeah. And it was rocking.
With homes in need around here, it would be worth it to fix and rent it out rather than sell it. Yeah, I agree, Wild. Also, I don't know if you have this because you're in Canada, but in our local town, we have like a historical society or something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, the historical society or whatever it is for old homes, they, how do I get this over to me? They will actually help you fix your house up and stuff. When the house burnt down, when the trailer burnt down, I was making all those phone calls. I called our local historical people or whatever it's called. I don't even remember. It's historical something. I called them and they put me on the waiting list, and it's like, I can't even remember. Do you remember what they said the waiting list was? I think it was like 2 years. It was a year or 2 years for the waiting list. But what they do is they work on older homes and help restore them. So hopefully that'll come through in a year or so. See, my house is over 100 years old. You should look into it, Wild, and see if you guys have anything like that. Firefly says, I want to go on a hot air balloon. Yeah, see if they will help you, Wild. Barrett, I talked Barrett into, we went to Amish country and they had a hot air balloon attraction, but the hot air balloon was tied down. So you could go up in the air, but it was tied, and then it would come back down.
Yeah, but 1,000 feet up in the air?
It was not no thousand, it was like 20 feet.
Oh, come on.
10, 20 feet, if that. It was not very high at all. But his mom was with us, and that was always one of her bucket list things. She always wanted to be in a hot air balloon as well. However, did we end up getting her in that air balloon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had to pick her up.
She was walking with a cane at the time. She didn't bend very well. Barrett literally had to pick her up and put her over the basket. So it was me, Barrett, and my oldest, Gavin. You guys, they were such babies. I had Barrett grabbing my waist. His knees were shaking. He was scared to death. And then I had my son wrapped around my legs. He was screaming and shaking to death. And then I got Barrett's mom. She's having a heyday. She's loving it. I'm just like, this is a hot mess. It was hilarious.
We got lost in the corn maze.
Yeah, they had a corn maze. We got lost in the stupid corn maze. We were in there for hours, and Barrett's like, I know where to go.
I did.
They even gave us a map, and we could not find our way out of this dang maze. It was starting to get dark. The sun was going down. I was getting hungry and cranky, and I was getting scared because children of the corn, you know. There was nothing but kids running around. And we're stuck in a damn cornfield with a 6-year-old and an old lady.
You must have enjoyed it because you're still talking about it.
I enjoy it. I have never went back to a corn maze since that day. I'll never go in one again. I thought the farmer was literally going to have to find us and bring us out.
Well, just look at this way. We had plenty of corn to eat.
The only reason we made it out of that was field corn. The only reason we made it out is because we found somebody else that was walking through the maze and we just followed them. It was a horrible experience.
Oh, you had a good time.
It is worth a try, Wild. Remember when Habitat for Humanity would help rebuild homes, they have cut down to maybe 100 homes total a year under this economy when they would do 100 a month a decade ago.
Yeah, but you got Pat back.
Yeah, I have never had experience with Habitat for Humanity Dragon. However, when I called them, it was insane the requirements that they have for people to do that. For them to come out and work on the house, one, it was a 5-year waiting list. 2, you have to be current on your property taxes.
3, you gotta help them.
3, you have to have a down payment to give them. 4, you have to do the manual labor. 5, you have to actually pay money back as well for what the work that they did. And you did, I guess.
They tax you on it.
Yep.
You got to pay the interest and stuff on top of what they put into it.
What? Wild says, I've never seen the movie, but Caveman is laughing. What movie? Oh, Children of the Corn. That's a creepy ass show. Them kids are creepy. I was like, what movie? When I was younger, I used to like watching those scary movies. Not anymore. I like watching Children of the Corn and what was that other one?
It.
Pet Cemetery. Oh my gosh, Pet Cemetery gave me nightmares forever. I hated it. It was the worst. I hate clowns to this day. This is why when your parents tell you not to watch something, you don't watch it.
There you go, check it.
I don't like those scary movies that start out in the country and they always have some like crazy
wrong turn.
The crazy religious like people on the radio. Oh, that's creepy. No, I like Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn's good. I just never want
That show is retarded.
I love those movies, but I don't ever want to go to Kentucky or West Virginia after watching that stuff.
What was we went on a road trip?
Yeah, we went to West Virginia to go to the freaking casino.
We both looked at each other and said, "Uh-oh, wrong turn."
We're like freaking out. It was so creepy. Dragon it. Have you guys ever seen Wrong Turn? That guy in there is so creepy. Every time he like kills somebody or shoots somebody or is hunting somebody, he's like so creepy. That was like the first time and last time me and Bear ever went to a casino together. And I said, never again. We're never going to a casino again. I hated those games too. It wasn't like the casinos like in Vegas or Montana. Like in Vegas and Montana, they're Keno games. You just pick numbers, and if your numbers hit, you win. The machines in West Virginia are like, they give you different pictures across the screen, and there's like all these like laser beams, and they go all over the place. I don't know if you hit or if you don't hit or how you know you win or if you, I don't know. It's a weird one. I didn't enjoy those. For Jess. Oh no, is this a clown? Ew, yeah, there's a Wrong Turn guy. Ah. How'd you find him? Have you seen those movies, Dragon? But I have to say, I can't watch scary movies anymore. I don't like them. And if I am to watch a scary movie, it has to be in the daytime so that I have all day to think about something else before I go to bed. Or I'll have to watch like something, a love story or something like that after a scary movie. Is the fire still going?
Yeah.
It's 19 degrees. You hear? Did you hear me? He's ignoring me. Do you hear me?
What?
It's 19 degrees now.
It's supposed to drop down to 16.
I thought you said 19.
No, 16.
Ugh.
Alexa, what's the coldness tonight?
Overnight, you can look for mostly clear
16.
skies, with temperatures around 16 degrees Fahrenheit.
Look what Dragon sent me. Ow! You're bending my knees.
Well, you shouldn't have them there.
Bright Wild. She says the news is enough. I don't need movies. And Firefly says, yeah, no scary movies here. Yeah, I haven't watched a scary movie in a long, long time.
The last one we watched, when I said, I just used to watch scary movies, and
Yeah, I used to watch
came to
them.
bed and said, no more.
Yep.
What was I watching?
I don't know. It was about witches and werewolves and something. I don't know, but I tell Barrett, when you want to watch your scary movies, that's fine, but wait until I'm asleep. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I went to bed, and he stayed up late, and he was watching a movie, and he come to bed. He was all freaked out.
Oh, it was that paranormal stuff?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Sure?
Yeah, it was about witches and stuff.
I thought it was paranormal.
Mm-mm. So he quit watching scary movies after that. And he tried to wake me up and tell me I need to stay awake with him.
I was scared.
No, that was the last scary movie I watched, was that Paranormal Activity. Barrett took me to the freaking movies. So we're going to watch this movie. And I think it was Paranormal Activity too. I don't know.
I thought it was something else.
And the movie didn't get out until like midnight or something. We come outside and there's like a fog everywhere. It was so creepy. It gave me the chills.
Yeah, all the way home is nothing but fog.
Yeah. I said never again.
No traffic, no noise, no nothing.
Yeah, it was so creepy. I said never again. I'm watching something like that.
But I quit going to movies with Justin or him because her and this guy was cracking up laughing at each other. Couldn't even watch the movie.
You guys have never heard my like real laugh. It's ridiculous. I don't think actually I did that video a long time ago and I posted it to my YouTube, and it was me and Barrett playing the mouthpiece game.
Oh.
And my real laugh was in that one. But when I laugh, I don't even know. I snort. I belly laugh. I can't breathe. I hyperventilate. I cry. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, we went to Dodgeball. Was it Dodgeball with Will Ferrell? I think that's what we watched. It was Dodgeball. And we went to the movie theater, and there was a guy that was sitting catty corner in front of me. And, like, every time I belly laugh like that, he would start laughing. And his laugh was just as funny as mine. His laugh was, like, worse than mine, in my opinion. But he would start laughing, and I'd start laughing at him because it was so damn funny. And then he'd hear me laugh, and we just laughed off of each other through the whole movie. And Barrett was, like, so embarrassed. He couldn't stop laughing, though, because he was laughing at both of us.
I wasn't embarrassed.
Mm-hmm. Ew, that's a bad one, Dragon. The last scary movie that got me was Poltergeist when it first came out on TV, and I was like 8. After the coffins rose from the ground, there was a Mountain Dew commercial playing football in mud. Had me bawling and yelling, they're going to get me. Ew, really, Firefly? She says she read that they used real corpses in that movie.
Really?
The new meaning of WTF is where's the funds? I remember me and my girlfriend, we watched Pet Cemetery, and that big white dog that was in it. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but we snuck out, and she lived in the country. This was at Vicky's house. Vicky, hi, if you're watching. But we snuck out of Vicky's house, and we were going to go meet some guys. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're walking down the street, and there was like a mailbox in the distance, and it was a big white one. But we didn't know it was a mailbox. We thought it was the dog off Pet Cemetery. We were like screaming and running. We were so freaked out. And it was one of those nights too where it was like real foggy and quiet out, and the moon was like real bright. It's creepy. Ask Alexa. Dragon says, I heard tales of the crypt used a real person for the crypt keeper, Nancy Pelosi. I wasn't expecting to read that. That was good, Dragon. Alexa, did they use real corpses in the Poltergeist movie?
Some crew members of the Poltergeist movie claim that they used real skeletons from a medical supply company. However, the movie's producer, Frank Marshall, denied the claims.
Dang, the budget for that was $40 freaking million. Maybe it was. Dragon said, Pet Cemetery. You sure it wasn't from the movie Cujo? It might have been Cujo. I don't know. It's been so long since I've watched movies like that. I thought Pet Cemetery had the white, like, husky-looking dog.
No.
Was it Cujo then? I don't know. I just remember being scared. Yeah, it was. Because they freaking buried the dog to bring it back. And they buried their dad to bring him back.
It's been a while since I watched this show. What, you want to watch it tonight?
No. I ain't watching it. No. We can watch some chick flicks.
No.
We can veg out.
No.
We can have a veggie tray and watch chick flicks.
No.
How come?
We just watched your chick flick.
What did we watch?
Oh, the one you're always watching.
Which one? What did we watch?
I don't know.
See? It don't count. Chick flick movie night.
No.
You can clone them now. No need to bring them back. Yeah, that's creepy. Depending if you have the money for it, though, right, Wild? Movie night at Jess's place. Cujo followed by Pet Cemetery just to figure out exactly which movie she was thinking about with microwave popcorn. Yeah, it definitely wasn't that one dragon. Cujo, definitely not. I don't think I've ever even seen or heard of that one. I thought it was a white dog. And now all I'm seeing is a cat. I'm looking at the pictures. Yeah, it was a dog. It was like a wolf.
They got movies. They should always show scary dogs and everything. They got anything like scary cats? Ooh.
Yeah, Pet Cemetery has a scary cat. Oh. The blurred. You see it? That's from Pet Cemetery. I guess it's not all white. It's got bits and pieces of white, but mainly gray. I don't know. I was probably like 14 at that time. Really? Why would they do pet cloning? Why? We're having movie night tonight, Firefly says. They're doing pet cloning in Japan, babe. That's crazy. Why are they trying to mess with science like that? Wild says they're trying to clone the woolly mammoth too. I think we should call them Snuffleupagus. Haha. Yeah, but that's not cool. Like, why would you want to bring that back? Cat's Eyes was supposed to be scary. I just found it funny. I don't think I ever heard of that one. You know what scared me? You guys are gonna laugh. It gave me nightmares and I was scared to death of E.T. E.T. freaked me out.
What?
He is a creepy little booger.
Reminds me of a dragon.
No. He is creepy. That dragon ain't creepy like that.
Nobody's got the bald head.
So,
Does dragon got hair?
no, he's bald.
Is it?
He shaves. There was an E.T. figurine. Vicky used to do ceramics. And she, oh my gosh, she is so talented. She would do ceramics and paint them. And she would do like the old, what are those jugs called? The drinking jugs, the white ones.
Gallon?
Yeah, they were like gallon milk jugs or something. I don't know, but they were glass gallon jugs. And she would take those, she would get those and paint stuff on them, like like Disney characters or whatever. This was way back when we were younger.
You're talking about those moonshine jugs?
Yeah, like those. And she'd paint like different characters for kids on it, or she would do like a scenery setting on them. She was so good. Anyway, she did the ceramic E.T. one time, and we had watched E.T. and it freaked me out, scared me. And next thing I know, her son had a waterbed, so me and her daughter always loved sleeping on his waterbed, and we convinced him to let us sleep on the waterbed, and he could sleep on the couch. I didn't know that she had made him a ceramic E.T. So we're laying in this waterbed, and I look up, and there's a ceramic E.T. in the dark pointing at us. And I start screaming, hysterically crying. I swear I thought E.T. was coming for me. It was so scary. I have no idea if or who, but I heard dreams of it. They are probably doing it. Wow, it says E.T. phone home. Laugh my butt off. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Firefly said E.T. freaked me out too. This is hilarious.
What's the movie that the house looks like a pumpkin? What was the name of that movie? They had a couple series of it, episodes.
I don't know.
But anyways, you know that house we go by on Waterworks Road, and I tell you all the time about that house.
Mm-hmm.
Got those windows.
That's why you always say it's haunted.
And
it's not haunted.
No, but it looks like that house on. What's the name of that movie?
Know. I don't know what movie you're talking about. Maybe someone in the chat will. Barrett, like you have much to talk about. Let's see what he sent you.
Yeah, right.
The aliens off Sesame Street freak me out. I keep hearing them. I never watched Sesame Street. I can't ever recall watching Sesame Street. I watched like the Muppet Babies, but never Sesame Street. Amityville, that one's a creepy one
that
too.
That house is on Waterworks Road. That's the house that was on that movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. You look at the movie, and next time you pass that house, you'll swear up and down that was a house.
Which one?
Dragon, sent a picture of that house.
I'm trying to think of which one on Waterworks.
Where were those windows are at?
Oh.
When we come around that curve? Yes.
The windows that I asked them if I could have?
Yeah, but the house in front of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait till you see if Dragon shows you that picture. Or you can look it up.
Oh, I just closed out of my live. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, there I am. Dude, now I have all this scary stuff on my phone. No, it don't.
Yeah, it does.
You're smoking something. I'm gonna have to look at it a little closer when we drive by again. What are we doing tomorrow?
Clean the house.
Ugh. Why do you keep saying that? I'm behind in this live, and your hand, you're talking, you're going like this with your hand, but that's the only thing anybody can see is your hand. Ooh, Dragon did pull up a picture.
Yeah.
Nope, it doesn't.
That's not the house then.
Because you're thinking of something else.
No, that house don't look like it.
Mm-mm.
Maybe it's Halloween. I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
You'll have to look it up because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't look anything like that house.
Well, we'll take a picture of it. Where's
Okay.
my phone at?
He's smoking some weedies, you guys.
Yeah, right.
Did you die?
Yeah.
Your tank is on fire.
Yeah. I forgot I was playing.
Because you were talking to us?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. What was that other show? It wasn't it was kind of like E.T. I love that movie. It was a spaceship that came down to Earth, and the little boy climbed aboard, and he met all these like different creatures and stuff. Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
And he got to learn how to fly it and stuff. I don't remember what it was called. That was a good kid movie.
Go watch the Black Pumpkin.
What is it about?
Scary.
No. Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
That was a good movie. Did you guys see that? Flight of the Navigator was in 1986. Oh, that's a Michael Burton movie. I didn't realize that. It stars Joey Kramer as David Freeman, a 12-year-old boy who is abducted by an alien spaceship and transported from 1978 to 1986. Ha! Firefly said it. Flight of the Navigator. Something for you when you hop off stream later, Jess.
That's the reason that house looks different in their home, because that was in the daytime that the dragon showed.
Oh,
At
okay.
nighttime,
I don't think it looks like it though.
I think it does. Look at it. Look at it really good. We'll have to drive by it at nighttime and I'll show it
I
to you.
ain't driving at nighttime.
Yeah, you will.
No, I don't go out of the house after dark. You know that. I'll watch it here.
What's the name of those one movies that they see things before it happens that we used to watch? Like on the roller coaster, or they're driving someplace to the racetrack and she sees all this accident happening and stuff.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
And later on, when she gets there, it happens.
Wow, posted the Sesame Street aliens. Give me a second. Ew, those are kind of creepy. Did you ever see them? What's wrong with their mouths? Are they scary?
No, I don't have glasses on. The only thing I seen is green and red.
Oh, my Lanta. I watched it already. Premonition ferret.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what he's talking about. What else does that get stuck in your head? I was watching a TikTok earlier today. Oh, what a neuro. It was on a woman and a husband, and he said she was a neuro something. A neuro something. I don't know what it's called. But, anyways, her husband, they were describing what their relationship was, and they didn't know that she was this way before they got married. I'm this way. I know a lot of people that are. But she said, Barrett's the opposite. He's like the husband. And,
I hope so.
well, I mean, like the husband I was watching. And sometimes I'll ask Barrett, I asked you the other day. We were working on something outside. Or doing something outside. And I was like, what are you thinking right now? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, what do you mean nothing? And he was like, nothing. I said, nothing's going through your head right now? Like, no thought? Nothing? And yet he was like, yeah. And I'm like, that's so weird. Like, how? And anyways, this husband and wife, she says that when she lays down to go to sleep at night or whatever, you know, she has a million things going on in her head. And basically, she has a narrator. I'm like, that is the perfect way to describe it. She has a narrator in her head, like, did you shut off the oven? Did you do this? Did you do that? And and her brain never stops. Even when she's, like, sleeping, like, her brain never shuts off. And he was saying his brain shuts off, and she didn't understand that there's, like, nothing in his brain. It was just a blank, nothing, no thoughts, no nothing. Why can men do that? Why are you like that? And then it was funny because she was like, he's like, your brain never just shuts off, like there's no silence. And she's like, no. She's like, even if I'm laying in bed and trying to fall asleep, there's like a theme song or something like, boop, 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 boop. Even if her brain isn't thinking. I'm like, yep, that's me 100%. My brain never shuts off. OCD. Play this for Barrett. He'll have nightmares. Do you want to watch it?
What is it?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, Dragon, that's hilarious. Here, listen. What is it?
Disco duck. No, yes. Get.
That was a good one, Dragon.
And I thought we was buddies.
Caveman says that too. I have no idea what that feels like, not being able to think. Me either, Wild. It's crazy to me. And Dragon says, because we ain't crazy. Right, Wild? My brain never shuts off. But I know it can't be all men that can just shut their brains off, because my dad and my brother's the same way. Their brain never shuts off either. So no, it's not just women.
My brain shuts off because I got to think later on when I wake up, things to plan out.
Really? Because when I wake up in the morning, I'm in the middle of the thought of a conversation when I wake up. I'm just joking. But basically, why do you think my feet hit the ground as soon as I get up? I'm got stuff to do.
Yeah, that's how you do that. You wake up and you're out of bed. I wake up, I gotta lay there for a second.
A second. You gotta lay there for an hour.
Or whatever.
And then you gotta get up and sit in your chair for an hour. And then you gotta drink coffee for an hour.
I drink coffee for a while.
And by the time you're ready and motivated to move, it's been like 4 hours and the day's over. Yeah.
Don't exaggerate.
It's true. Meditation, I can shut it off, but it's hard to stay that way. I can't. There's no way. In meditation, like when I try to concentrate on one thing, it's worse. Then my brain like spirals. Can't do it.
Yeah, your problem is you don't have imagination. You can't picture things.
I can't. Barrett gets so frustrated with me. Like, you know how people can like remember a memory and picture it? I can't do that. Or if Barrett's building something,
Picture when it's
picture what it looks like when it's finished in your head. I can't do that. I don't know what that's called, but I can't do it. And when I looked it up, there's actually a lot of people that can't do it. So it's not just me. Like when you design your garden or
You got
paint your house or anything, I have to visually put it down on paper so I can picture it. I can't do it in my head. Are you guys like that? Is anybody else like that? Wow, it says I can if I can concentrate on my breathing, but yes, only a few seconds of quiet. I don't know how people function and like I don't know what it would be like to have a silence in my brain. I think that would be weird. And if I sit there and try to concentrate on my breathing wild, then I can start panicking about my breathing if I'm breathing properly, and then I can hear my pulse rate and my heart. Oh my god. Dragon says, there is a psychological test or something like that where they ask people to describe an apple in their head. Some see a 3D red apple, some see a two-dimensional black and white apple, some can't picture it all.
Does people dream in black and white or color?
Never thought about it. And usually when I dream, I try not to remember the dream. I don't like dreams.
Every time you dream, you tell me the story the next day. Detail.
I know.
You gotta write down the detail and stuff.
I know. I don't like dreaming. It's creepy because it feels like it's so real. My dreams are so detailed and so. I feel like I'm in a real.
So
it's
next
real
time you
life.
dream, see if it's black and white or color.
I have to. I don't know. Do you dream in black and white or color?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you know?
I never thought about it until now.
Wild says we should all try and leave our answer in the comments. Firefly said called 3D Thinker. Look it up.
Alexa, 3D thinker.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, 3D stinker.
What's the largest rodent? That's what she came up with. Alexa, what is a 3D thinker?
A three-dimensional thinker is someone who thinks in 3 dimensions, meaning they consider the past, present, and future simultaneously when making decisions or solving problems.
I'll try it later when I'm not watching anything.
Try what later? 3D thinker?
No, I think she's gonna try to meditate. Try to shut her brain off.
Who, Alexa?
No, Wild. You can't do two things at once, can you?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Think.
Huh?
Think while I'm playing.
You don't know what I just said, do you?
I'm thinking about destroying this tank.
What are you trying to hold a conversation with me for then?
I didn't want to be rude.
You're ridiculous.
Alright, getting ready to load.
Alright.
So you're just going to stay on and smirk that one?
Yeah. I'm going to wait until you start playing so I can ask you some more questions. What are you staring at me for now?
What are you looking at the corner of your eyes for?
Because I can feel you eyeballs on me.
I can see right there on the TV. What are you looking opposite direction for?
I'm looking at your clock. You got a minute, 6 seconds, 7. Oh, it's not counting down, it's counting up.
There it goes. Shh.
What are you shushing me for?
You get me killed every time you talk. Now I'm going to be looking at the screen.
Why are you blaming it on me? I can't help it if you're getting killed.
I'm just teasing you.
What tank are you using?
When I'm driving.
Yeah, what's it called?
Silverado.
No, it is not. What tank is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the one you had a hard time driving before?
Mm-mm. This is a different one.
What is this one?
The one I didn't drive last time. I'm gonna go up on this hill.
Why?
I'm gonna be a sniper.
What are you gonna do on the hill?
Shoot.
Who are you playing with?
6 other people.
Any of your friends?
No.
Can a tank roll? Like flip over?
Scroll on that.
No, I mean like flip over.
No.
Can you fall off that ledge?
Yeah, I can fall off the ledge. Oh, you just got me shot.
How did I get you shot? I don't have no ammo.
Every time I can sneak up there real quick and everything and shoot a couple of tanks.
Well, what happened?
Kind of like have me occupied.
How did I have you occupied? I was just talking.
Mm-hmm. No one's talking to you?
Nobody's talking to me. They got bored with me. How'd you get blown up already?
There's a guy behind the bush. I didn't see. He sniped me. Instead of me sniping them, they sniped me.
Wow, it says grrr. I think I put them all in a trance. They're trying to do some 3D thinking. All right, Dragon, you have a great night too. I think I'm going to hop off as well. I want to thank you all for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the book reading. We did chapter 11 and 12. If you did not catch it, go back, rewatch it, give it a thumbs up. And I'll be back next Saturday for chapter 13. Until next time, stay happy, healthy, and safe. Remember, you're not alone. You're loved. We'll see you later. Bye. Wow, that's a lot of emails to go through. Night Wild, Night Dragon, Firefly, everybody else. Good night.